doing that. If you live in a country full of infidels and you're trying to survive.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yes, America is not full of infidels. So the real problem is if Sam Harris can create a thought leadership diagram.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was going against the Judeo-Christian,
Christianity and
the bigger landscape.
Yeah.
And he's not alone in this. If Sam Harris can go against American philosophy and the American, prevalent psychology.
But again, he was a white guy. He's a white guy.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
No, that's the problem that we need to fix. And we can, as brown people, we can fix that. See, a Muslim or a brown person are two different things. Now, I can count on a lot of people who are white in America, who convert, and they need to get the serotonin straight and the science learned.
Talk about two of the very prominent Maulvis of their time. Let's talk about Maulana Abdul Wahab, the pioneer of the Wahhabi sect. So, what do you think is the position of Abdul Wahab in the hierarchy?
Way lower. I'll tell you why. Because first and foremost, Arabs were in a very different momentum when Abdul Wahab actually started.
Yeah.
A lot of ties were with America, and because Abdul Wahab was fighting against Al Saud, not the Arabs.
Yeah.
And the Saud family was coming into real power at that time, and Abdul Wahab was against the status quo, which was on the street, even in Pakistan and India.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he started with the philosophy of. By the way, in current day Saudi Arabia is way more Abdul Wahab philosophy now. Then of course Turkey.
At that time.
Turkey was at that time.
Yeah.
Because I think he became so famous so fast because he was so clean and so clear that.
The Najdi brand
it would have toppled the
government
mainstream right at that time. Actually, it makes it the right at that time.
Yeah.
Because this guy was too liberal. I'm saying he was against the superstition.
Superstition,
And I think this is what whenever I read about whatever he had to write and whatever happened to him, I think this is just another example of how leadership is oblivious to life and death.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Pakistanis actually think that's Wahhabism.
Yeah.
And that's so not Wahhabism. Actually, he just, he had a way lower demand. He never even bothered to change the philosophy in the top 2, 3, 4, scaffoldings of the Muslim hierarchy. He was just trying to get the people out of the bid'ah.
Yeah.
That was his credo. That the bid'ah should stop, and amongst other things. But this was something which.
So what about Abul Qadir Jilani Rahmatullah? Where do you place him in the hierarchy?
See, that's something real thought leadership actually comes into play. He was the only thing he was doing was changing the thought of people. You know what I'm saying? This is a clan which never changes the behavior.
Yeah.
It actually affects the thought only. And of course based on the philosophy, and that philosophy was pretty prevalent at that time. No. Now it's not. We only know the mystic side of Abdul Qadir Jilani. We don't know the actual. Because I'm dead certain most of the people who have heard the name don't know that he was a humbly with. I think he was way more of a Maulvi and a Mullah than we can ever have here.
Here, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we all say, hey, all hail Rumi and all hail Jilani. They were the classic Maulvis.
Yeah, classic Maulvis.
Their fatwas are about smaller things. Our Maulvi is way more liberal than these two.
These two, yeah.
Especially Abdul Qadir Jilani. He was out and out humbly, and he was a classic Maulvi, as classical as it gets.
Yeah.
However, he's influenced on the spiritual side of things.
Yeah. He was more of a Sufi.
No, he wasn't.
He's painted as a Sufi though.
Because of the practices.
The practices, yeah.
And because if you were a Sufi, you wouldn't have been a humbly.
Yeah.
You
cannot be both at the same time. They were the two poles opposite.
So he was actually doing a lot.
This question has been discussed like in depth, I believe. And
I think after this, if you look at so many names which created such a big influence, you wouldn't really hate the Maulvi.
Yeah.
You would try and create a bigger impression of the Maulvi in a bigger picture.
Yeah.
From taking it from a little farther in history than the current Maulvi in your street. And these Maulvis that are in the street right now, they were there in the time of Imam Malik and Mullah Nasir, the caliph of who killed Abu Hanifa.
Yeah.
These Maulvis are everywhere. You better hate them. That's why I said you better hate this Maulvi.
Yeah.
I hate the Maulvi who was actually, who squealed on Abu Hanifa and says, this guy is giving a fatwa against you guys to the caliph.
Yeah.
And there were way more Maulvis under the Ottoman Empire, a lot.
Yeah.
Those are all Maulvi run
nations.
regimes.
Regimes.